In today's video, we're talking about more activities to do with your kids for fine motor, and this time we're focusing on the older kids. This is part 2 of my Fine Motor for Older Kids series, and I have a lot to show you in this one too. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. You know I like to talk about fine motor activities, except my kids are a little bit older, and I wanted to come up with some great fine motor activities for that older age. I'm talking about 5 and up here. So we do fine motor activities a lot on this channel. I'm constantly talking about it, especially for the preschool age, but I wanted to find a couple things that would appeal to the older kids too, because they don't necessarily want to do the things that the little kids are doing. I have tons of ideas in this video, and I also have a previous video that I did about the same topic with a whole bunch of different activities. I'll put that up in the corner for you to check out and also in the description box. Let's get started with some more fine motor activities for older kids. Dots. I love dots. I love dots. I love dots. They are like the most amazing thing ever. This is from Lego. This box is called the Dots Designer, but there are so many different kits you can get. So this is like the mega box. There's a lot in here. They're recommending it for ages 7 up. But you can get down all the way to something like this, which is just a bracelet. Much more easy. And these are a lot of fun because they are little tiny pieces. I got some here in a bag here that we need to sort out still. And they're all kinds of different shapes and sizes and colors. And some of them have like little designs on them or letters or eyes or, I mean, you name it. And the thing about this is that they fit on top of the Lego plates themselves, or in this case, a bracelet. And you use these to make all kinds of different creations and they lay flat. So very similar to Lego, and they work with Lego bricks as well. These little tiny, tiny, tiny pieces are smaller than Legos. So you're able to do some pretty amazing fine motor work and they don't even realize it. So these pieces came with the Dots Designer box, which is basically a whole box filled with random dots to make all kinds of creations. There's an activity book in there. In fact, they made this little guy and designed it their own. They even put some words on here too. These little drawers come out and they've hidden little treasures in there that I have no idea that they hid in there. But they made this using a combination of the regular Lego bits and bricks with the Lego dots that all came with the box. But you can see how small those little tiny pieces are to put them onto that Lego plate and how that would really work your fine motor activity. The bracelet's the same thing. They can be reconfigured as well. We have these little projects all over the place and they are so fun and super cute. Highly, highly recommend this. If you haven't tried it, you're gonna love it. Now, you're probably saying we have Lego bricks, so why would I need dots? You know, the reason being is they are considerably smaller, so you really are working that fine motor in a different way. Here's some Lego brick that I have organized in here, and you can see that how much bigger the Lego is to the dots, right? So it's just a different level of fine motor. You can still use Lego. Lego is a great fine motor activity in itself too, so I do recommend this, especially for hand strength, putting together the pieces. Lego is just an all-around favorite. If you're not going to get a Lego kit, because they can get kind of expensive and you just get the plain bricks like we have here organized. These are just from random plain brick boxes. I have another box with all the other colors of the rainbow. I would recommend trying one of these Build It books. Love these. I've gotten them in 2 different versions here, and they are great because they give you ideas for building. So they tell you what pieces you need from those creator boxes, those plain brick boxes, how many of them you're going to need to create it, and then it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to create it. And these are all just random things. So if you get that basic brick box, it shows you all kinds of things that you can create from that to work that fine motor. So I do like these. Here's a swan. That's so cute. And they give you so many different ideas. This one's much thicker. How to build a green cactus and blooming cacti, desert scenes, build a sailboat. And so you just find the pieces, the basic bricks that you need, and you create that. So if you're going to stick to the Lego and not try the dots, this is a great option, especially if you're not going to buy the pre-made kits, so you're going to make something and you have just the basic blocks. It'll go a lot farther if you get just the basic blocks, and then you can just break them down and rebuild something else. In my last fine motor video for older kids, I mentioned a game, Triggle, which is absolutely fabulous for fine motor. This time I wanted to mention a game, Chinese checkers, because it is a great way to use fine motor in those little peg forms, just like that Triggle game that I showed you. This set I picked out especially because it has the pegs versus the marbles. The marbles is a little bit trickier because they tend to roll around. This is great because they are peg pieces and you have to move the pegs every time you make a move. So you're working that fine motor each time you do a move and then putting them back. Chinese checkers is a simple game, you guys. You just try to get all of your pieces across the board by jumping like you would on checkers. Very great strategy game, especially when you have multiple players playing. This set is wooden, so it's a really nice set. You can get really really cheap ones too, but I highly recommend investing in something like this. So Chinese checkers is a great option for some older kid fine motor. I'm bringing out some big boxes here to give you an idea about perler beads. This is another oldie but goodie. Perler beads go back. I mean, they really do go back. I remember using them when I was a kid. We have this big box of perler beads that we use because they come with so many different styles. So perler beads are these little fuse, or they're called fuse beads sometimes, right? So they come in all kinds of different colors. They're these little tiny bead looking things with holes in them. And I've got a couple of variety packs here that I've gotten over the years that we've used. I have some sorted out here in rainbow colors too. And you put the perler beads onto plates. So here's a whole bunch of different plates that we've collected. You can make your own designs. Sometimes they have some outlines of designs. Here's a unicorn, an airplane, and you place all of those right onto these little tiny pegs. And doing that is an excellent fine motor activity because you need precision. Sometimes kids want to use their tweezers, and that's fine too, but using your fingers is really great. I also wanted to show you this because it can be of many different interests you can find. Like this one is a Super Mario Brothers one. So it shows you different patterns to make with Mario Brothers and how to make them. So you just follow the instructions. I have some over there for flowers. I've seen them for, trucks and transportation, all kinds of different ones so that you can find something that's of interest to your child. And all you do, here's my little board here. Let me find maybe a colored one. Here's a heart, is you place those beads on there, either in free form, whatever color you want, or in the pattern provided. They give you some choices. And then when you're all done and you got all of your beads covering the whole thing, you put some wax paper over, iron it, and it will fuse them, melt them together so you can have a heart. And you take it off the template and then you have a heart when you're done. They also have big ones that are a little bit larger for smaller hands that you can try too if you want to use this for younger children. And if putting them on these single plates, they have more complicated ones too. I've seen like gingerbread houses and Christmas trees and things like that at Michael's. Next up, we have a favorite, Aaron's Thinking Putty. Now I have a lot of Aaron's Thinking Putty. As you can see, they were in my Christmas holiday gift guide. I have a whole entire video that goes over all these really great different ones. They all do different things. So I'll put that up there in the corner so you can go look at it. But Aaron's Thinking Putty is an excellent way to work on fine motor, even for the younger kids, because it's sensory driven. It doesn't feel like a young kind of thing. It works on strengthening your hands. So this one is the hide and seek one, where there's all kinds of things hidden inside this putty, all these little faces that you have to find of different emotions, which is kind of fun in a unique way. It's not sticky on your hands, doesn't leave a residue, and it's really good for fidgeting and trying to strengthen those hands and those fingers and putting it together. Excellent. And they all kind of do that, but each one of these does something kind of different. Like I said, you'll have to watch that video to get all the insights on what it does. This is definitely a good way to strengthen fine motor in a fun way that's not too young, like a sensory bin. So you're getting the sensory in too. It has a much more older feel. I'm not really big on slime and things like that, but definitely the Aaron's Thinking Putty is one that I allow in my house just because of the way it behaves. It's pretty nice stuff. Now I know this one has been a favorite for a really long time, as it should. Light Bright, you guys. Now Light Bright we've had since they were in preschool age, which is a great age, but also as they get older, they can get really more creative in what they make. Light Bright is great for fine motor because you have those little tiny pegs that you have to put in the little tiny holes. It comes with patterns where you can make your own designs, and then when you're done, you can have a really pretty display light up. I don't think there's batteries in this. Oh, there is. You just can't see it because all my lights are on. But it's an excellent way to really work on that fine motor control and putting those pegs in. If you're working with your child on this, you can also encourage them to use both hands just to kind of work both strengths. But this is a really good way to get that fine motor in. Yeah, the light's working. You just can't see it because all of my camera lights are on. You can also work with your child on doing different patterns or making it all one color, or challenging them to make a certain kind of design on their own. Who had Light Bright when they were a kid? I know I did, and it was a huge thing. You guys remember that? It was so big, but now it's much smaller. I wanted to bring out this fidget too. Back in my fidget video, I showed you guys this. I had a whole video filled with all kinds of different fidgets. I'll have to put that up in the corner too, so you can watch that if you're into the fidget kind of stuff. This one I pulled for this video because it has a little bit more of a purpose. Let me see if I can get it out. Here we go. It's like fidget Tetris almost, right? So it's not just the little bubble poppers, but you have to fit all of them into this rectangle here in the the right form. So you got the fidget, which is part of the fine motor activity, but it's also placing back all of the pieces in here like Tetris so that they fit. So this one is a little bit more complex than just having a bubble popper, and a great activity for the older kid. What's great too is they can take out the individual pieces and just have that as a fidget and use that if they're going somewhere or not. So you have a lot of different options there, or they can play it as the game. Now I will tell you, it is challenging once all these pieces come out to put them all back into this frame, because I had a hard time putting them all back together. This one is diamond painting, and this is actually part of one of our smaller kits. There's little designs in here, and this is probably the simplest way to do a diamond painting. And I have a couple different examples here. They make these really large, all the way up to like a full-size sheet of paper or even bigger. But this is a good way to get started with fine motor. If you don't like these little childish patterns, they have everything from like Pokemon to Marvel characters. But on here, it's actually adhesive. The whole sheet, or the part where this animal is adhesive. And there's little numbers on there that correspond to little diamonds, is why they call it diamond painting. I don't know if you can see the little numbers on there, but then it corresponds to these little package of resin diamonds. They're not real diamonds, right? And each number on the animal has a different color assigned to it. So you take the little diamonds and you adhere it with a special pen tool to the picture, and it will stick. They come with everything you need to do the project, including a little toolkit so your diamonds can go in this little green container. This is the pen to pick up the little resin diamond, and here is the wax that goes inside the pen to pick it up. So you take the pen and pick it up, and then you place it on here with the corresponding number. The reason why I'm showing you these smaller ones, because they're much more doable to see if your child likes this. If they do like it, they make much bigger ones that my kids love doing and will spend a lot of time working on. Another way to use this for fine motor is using tweezers. My daughter will sometimes take some tweezers and place each individual resin dot on the number to make the picture. And then when they're done, they have a sticker that they can place anywhere. Tons of different kits in different styles. I'm going to put some examples down below for you to take a look at. The smaller kits like this, or even bigger ones that my kids are doing now. If you didn't see that first video for fine motor activities for older kids, I'm going to put it up here on screen so you can go check it out next. I will see you over there. Tons of ideas on that one. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this, and give me a thumbs up to show your love.